Hi there and welcome, and thank you so much for joining the summit and tuning into my session today. I'd like to start by thanking Brianna for organising this incredible summit and for facilitating this virtual gathering of speakers and creating this truly incredible community. Thank you so much for being here. My name's Katrina Hart. I'm a holistic success coach based in Australia, and I help busy working mums reduce stress and overwhelm, help them increase their energy so they can avoid burnout, and they can successfully integrate work, family, and self-care and truly thrive in all areas of life. My passion for health started 10 years ago when I was given the news that I had breast cancer. Certainly the biggest wake-up call that you could get at the age of 32. My initial reaction was fear, stress, doubt, and a lot of anxiety. And I quickly realised that those emotions were only going to send me on a negative downward spiral. And so I made the choice that I was going to turn my greatest challenge into my greatest opportunity. And over the last 10 years, I've been on one roller coaster journey. And one of the main obstacles I've had to overcome was the stress and overwhelm in my life. Because stress has been a big part of my life, and it impacted me in so many ways. Being able to fall pregnant for many years. I also worked in the fundraising industry, which created a lot of pressure and emotional stress for me over the years. And when we did eventually have our first child, stress impacted my early years of motherhood. It fueled a lot of anxiety and self-doubt. So I know firsthand the impact that stress can have on your health and on your life. And that's why I'm so passionate to help empower women to ditch the impossible standards, regain their identity as women, let go of that mum label, be kind to themselves with self-compassion and self-love, and really live life on their terms. Yes, even with a young family. And I really want to help shift the paradigm that as a working mum, we have to struggle through this period of our life while our kids are young, trying to juggle everything, meet everyone else's needs and expectations but our own. So today I'm here to talk to you about stress. Stress is such a big topic, particularly now in the world that we live in and what we're going through right now. It affects so many of our lives. It is a big topic, but I'll be talking about three things today. One, what is stress and why do we have it in our life? Two, the 4 ways that we experience stress and the long-term effect of stress on our body and on our life. And number 3, the solution to reducing and coping with stress. Because whether we like it or not, stress is a part of our life. And so it's really important that we know how to deal with it. So stress is actually a really good thing because your body is hardwired to react to stress to protect you against danger and threats. Now, back in the day, in the caveman days, the threats would have come from, tigers and lions or local tribes coming to attack you. These days, stress is triggered by things like our long to-do lists, fear of letting people down, worrying about how others see us, comparing ourselves to others, falling short of our own expectations, and our perception of, what pressure and urgency is. So when you're stressed, your body releases hormones. So adrenaline, which increases your heart rate and blood pressure, helps to boost your energy supplies. It helps to activate the fight or flight response to help you escape from any danger that you may be in. But adrenaline creates a lot of inflammation in the body. And as many of you may know, inflammation is the beginning of most diseases. And cortisol is the other stress hormone. So its function is part of a natural process of the body, which in moderation, cortisol is perfectly normal and healthy because it helps to restore balance of the body after a stressful event. It helps to regulate hormones and blood sugar levels. But cortisol also alters our immune system. It suppresses the digestive system, the reproductive system, and the renewal processes of the body. And cortisol will also slow your metabolism, which, it helps you get through what it thinks is going through a famine. So, your clothes start getting tighter, you start putting weight around your middle, you think you must go on a diet, you go on a diet, you eat less, you're more stressed, you confirm that to your body what it already thinks is true is that there isn't enough food in the world, and so your body slows its metabolism down even further. Now, in addition to that, when you're stressed, melatonin levels go down, which helps you sleep. So your sleep is then impacted because your body thinks that your life's in danger. And so we can start waking up at night, waking up feeling anxious when we never really felt like that before. So as mums, stress can feel so overwhelming and constant. After all, motherhood is a 24/7 job, which often means our life is very full and busy. And often the stress that comes from that is actually because we choose to see our life like that. And it also doesn't help when society's expectations are placed on us and we're told that it's normal to be tired and stressed and exhausted all the time. You hear, well, you're a mum, that's normal. You'll get your life back when your kids are older. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not true. Because when you're stressed, worried, anxious, resentful, guilty, jealous, if you're entertaining any of these thoughts each day, then you are living in a state of stress. Probably living in a state of low-level stress. And you know that if you're stressed, you'll start to suffer from fatigue and exhaustion, food cravings, mood swings, having trouble sleeping, aches and pains, constantly worried, you can't focus, you're a bit pessimistic, and you start to only focus on the negative side of things. And there are 4 ways that we experience this kind of stress in our life. We've got physical stress from trauma, from accidents and injuries. We've got chemical or biological stress from flus and bacterial infections. We've got emotional stress, which are the thoughts, beliefs and feelings that we have around certain things, such as relationships, finances or work. And then spiritual stress is our connection to something greater and our purpose in life. And as mums, we experience emotional stress and spiritual stress probably most of all. We can easily lose touch with ourselves when our kids are young, lose our purpose in life. We lose touch with our passions and needs and desires. And then the thoughts and beliefs about things in our life can lead us really into a downward spiral. And all these things knock the brain and the body out of balance and creates a lot of anxiety. Our bodies turn on the stress response to deal with that stress and anxiety. And then we often live in this state of low-level chronic stress 24/7. And the long-term effects of living like this affects our body, affects our thoughts, feelings, and behaviour. Chronic stress impairs the brain function, makes us avoid or interact with people. When we're stressed, we actually want to run and hide rather than connect and learn and be creative. If you see someone that you love, the brain releases hormones related to love, so dopamine, oxytocin. So when a mind perceives love, the chemistry from your brain is chemistry that enhances your vitality. And they say when people are in love, they glow. But when the same person experiences fear and stress, they won't release those same hormones as the person that's experiencing only love. If you're afraid or you're stressed, you release stress hormones, which affects the immune system and impacts your overall moods and your health. You can't produce those happy hormones. And stress has a massive effect on the gut. The brain and gut are more in sync than you may realise. They're in constant communication. And this direct relationship causes our gut to be sensitive to emotions and reactions such as stress. Too many stress hormones reduces the production of serotonin, which is a happy hormone, and 70% of serotonin is produced in the gut. So that can lead to, depressive moods and anxiety. And these hormones also affect our digestive system. And when we're in fight or flight, it decreases the blood and oxygen flow to the stomach, which then creates an imbalance in gut bacteria and causes more inflammation. And stress also affects how we digest, absorb, and metabolize food. And then stress impacts our ability to maintain an ideal weight. It lowers our metabolism, but it also drives food cravings and we start making poor food choices. But on the other hand, you can also start missing meals and feel like you're not really hungry. So then your body's missing out on important nutrients that your body needs for sustained energy. So when we're living in this stress state, we start to also obsess about time and the lack of time we have, particularly for us mums, that overwhelming feeling that we're running a race that we just can't finish, our to-do list is longer than we can get through, and our sense that there just aren't enough hours in the day, which actually might just be misplaced anxiety, which is your brain protecting you from the perceived danger, so it gives you that perception that you are too busy. And stress can have really big consequences over time on our relationships, the people we love the most. Work-life conflict is a top source of stress today for mums. We bring the stress and strain from work and other areas of our lives home with us. We then have to play mum. It's quite overwhelming and we often hurt the ones we love the most. And you're more likely to notice negative behaviours in yourself when you're stressed and less able to stop yourself from reacting badly to them. You can become moody and cranky, and this can have a negative effect on your children and your husband or your partner. And stress can absolutely wipe out the patience and energy that it takes to be a really nurturing and engaged parent. And when we feel we're not nurturing and loving, that can also send us into the mum guilt spiral. And then we don't feel like we're good enough, which activates the stress response again, and it's a vicious cycle. But the biggest impact stress has on our lives is on our energy levels. And energy is the ultimate indicator of good health. If you don't have good energy, this is your body's way of telling you that something is not quite right and needs to be changed. So the way to reduce and cope with stress and increase our energy levels and increase our vitality, it requires habit change. So if you're a busy, stressed out mum, taking steps to manage your stress can completely change your perspective on life and improve your health dramatically. Because when we're in this fight or flight response, the first thing and the only thing really that we need to be able to do is to breathe and become breath aware and breathe from our diaphragm rather than our chest. You can put one hand on your chest and one hand on your tummy and start to take long, deep breaths and notice which hand is moving. If your hand on your chest is moving, it means that it's adrenaline driving that breath. So really getting the breath down into your tummy. And when we can achieve a state of calm, our body can work so much more efficiently. That our body gets the message via the nervous system that it's safe and that our life isn't in danger. So starting the day with breath work and gratitude practice is so important. And then micro pauses during the day to check in with your breath is also important. Our nervous system is then more supported. If we can be aware of our breath and our body throughout the day, because so much of our daily routine is stress promoting. But there are easy changes that we can make. Getting more sleep, moving our body, eating nourishing whole foods, spending time with loved ones, getting fresh air and sunshine, being out in nature and connecting with the earth. But in addition to practicing these stress reduction techniques, one of the biggest energy drainers that mums fail to address is poor time management. I have no time is something I hear a lot, and this can create a lot of stress and overwhelm and a pattern that we just can't break through. So what are the things that stress you out and create feelings of overwhelm in your life? Do you play the victim and respond immediately to everyone and everything, and you're constantly putting out fires? If this is you, you're probably not very good at creating boundaries and prioritizing your time, and everything is urgent and important. Or perhaps you live in reactive mode. You let everything steal your attention. Interruptions and distractions are the norm, and you never feel that you can get anything done. You say yes to everything, and then you feel quite depleted as a result. And then you can stay up late catching up on things, your sleep's impacted, and then your inner critic has a field day making you feel bad that you can't get through everything. You tend to blame your kids and your work and your busy life for not letting you succeed or be healthy or get ahead. Or perhaps you get sucked into a lot of time wasting activities that suck your energy. Too much time on social media, watching TV, or you're addicted to online shopping, or you're tied to your phone checking your emails and messages every minute of the day. And sometimes we can lack motivation when we feel like this. Our house tends to be messy. We feel quite disorganized in our head and in our life. We feel emotionally drained, and we live our life quite unconsciously. Now the goal is to recognize where you are, and with that awareness, optimize your situation so you don't have to let circumstances affect you as much. And no matter who you are, whether you're a working mum with young kids, a stay-at-home mum, a mum with teenage or adult children, we all have a list of things to do that far exceeds the physical limitations of time. But the concept of free time we feel doesn't exist. But if there's another way to look at it, and if you say you don't have time, and if you consider that the stress and overwhelm that prevents us from capitalizing on our time, imagine all that time you'll magically create by just getting this one area in your life under control. So time management is so important to look at that. I also believe that changing the emotional aspect of health is more important than changing the diet. We often look at the food we eat for all the answers, but we actually have to address our emotional response, work on calming the nervous system and reducing that stress in our life, and ultimately changing the way that we see things in order to really live a happy, healthy and fulfilled life. So when you're stressed and tired, it impacts every aspect of your life. From the food you choose, the friends you make, the work you do, your self-talk, the way you speak to everyone, particularly the ones that you love in this world. And if you're feeling tired and drained and, you'd just love to wake up feeling refreshed and energized and inspired and motivated, if you'd like to walk into work feeling confident and clear-headed and allowing you to perform your best. And if you want to feel connected to yourself, feeling resilient, to all of life's stresses, and have absolute confidence in how your body's functioning and your ultimate health. And if your family would love seeing you as your calm, responsive, present and happy self, all of this can be achieved when we focus on reducing the stress in our life and calming our nervous system. And when you have a roadmap for overcoming that stress and overwhelm in your life that's holding you back, you'll feel confident and committed to achieving your best life. So as a gift to you, I would love to gift you my Total Energy Transformation Guide. This guide has some really simple tips that you can implement in your life today. And as an extra thank you for being part of this summit, and really thanking you for being here, I would love to extend an invitation for you to book a free 1-hour clarity call with me, just to help you get clear on what may be stopping you or slowing you down from reducing that stress and overwhelm in your life that might be holding you back. And just to help give you that roadmap and put a plan in place to help you make the changes that you'd really like to make. Because I really believe that life is too short to put your life on hold while your kids are young. You deserve to be showing up as your best self. I believe these are the best years of our life, and not showing up just for yourself, but for your kids and your family as well. So you can access these gifts at the link below this video, as well as in the Facebook group. I know that, I'd love to see you in the Healthy and Sustainable Weight Loss Community Facebook group. So if you haven't joined it, please head there and join it. I'd love for you to share your ahas and any takeaways from our little session today. And I'll also be in there to answer any questions that you may have. And I'd also love to connect with you on Facebook and Instagram at The Healthy Wealthy Mummy. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And I really look forward to connecting with you soon. Much love to you. See you later. Bye.